To know in terms of getting ready for this day. Welcome, Courtney.
Thank
Officially
you.
Your first day, bringing the rain with you.
Unfortunately, bringing the bad news on my first full morning here. Good morning, everyone. Yes, today is a weather impact alert day. That weather impact alert between 5 a.m. and 2 p.m. for more rain, more storms, and yes, more heavy downpours that could lead to additional street flooding. So you'll definitely want to bring the umbrella, the raincoat with you, and you'll want to add some extra time for your morning drive. Taking a look at satellite and radar this morning, we have a steady stream of rain moving in from west to east. We're looking up in Citrus County right now, Crystal River, the Hernando area, getting in on just some light rain right now, but we do have some heavy downpours that will continue to develop off the coast and move inland over the next several hours. So as you're getting up and at it on this Monday, back to work and school, you will want to, again, add extra time, especially if you commute later between about 8 and 11 a.m. That's when the rain really ramps up, and then we'll watch for more scattered storms for that afternoon commute home from school. A little drier for that commute home from work. I'll take you through what the models are saying about today's rain chance and talk about some slightly drier air that could usher in for some of us midweek. That's in just St. Pete area yesterday. I do expect more of that today, so you will need that 10 Tampa Bay Plus app. That'll give you everything you need to know as we update the forecast, and you definitely just want to give yourself some extra time this morning. Let's take you to satellite and radar because some of you are waking up to rain this morning already up into the Nature Coast, Citrus County, and taking a look at the rainfall totals over the last 24 hours, we're looking at a widespread 1 to 3 inches of rain, and that's just in 24 hours. To put that in perspective, 3 inches of rain is almost like a month's worth of rain in just one day, and we are expecting another at least 1 to 3 today. Again, taking you up into the Nature Coast, Crystal River getting in on some of this rain. It looks like a couple of light showers moving into Pasco County this morning. Temperatures generally in the low to mid 70s. Very mild start to your day. Very muggy out there. 77 in Newport Richey. We're at 82 in Tampa right now. 83 in Port Manatee. 74 in Bartow and 74 in Winter Haven. Taking you hour by hour through your morning. If you commute between 8 and 10 a.m., you are going to deal with very heavy rain. Here's a look scattered along the coast. Bradenton, Sarasota, the Hudson area up into Crystal River. And then it does look like around 2 o'clock we'll have a line of showers and storms. At 2 o'clock, we will have plenty of fuel for these storms to take advantage of. So we could have some gusty wind, very much like yesterday, definitely some frequent lightning. And of course, this will naturally impact that commute home on the bus later today for the kids. Now for the evening commute, we do start to dry out. A few isolated storms still possible around the Tampa Bay area, but for the most part, we will trend drier into the evening. Forecast rainfall, as I mentioned, we're looking at an additional 1 to 3 inches of rain. Take a look at this in Tampa. Some models hinting we could pick up 4 inches of rain, and this is just through the day today. So that's why we really have to be mindful of that flooding threat for the afternoon and evening. You know the flood prone areas in your neighborhood. You probably want to avoid those today. Here's a look at your marine forecast. Not a good day to be out on the water. We already have those showers offshore. Winds west-southwest 10 to 15 knots, seas at 2 feet, moderate chop on the bay. Definitely not a good day to get out on the water, but you will have a chance to get out on the water a little later this week. A cold front's going to try to move through. Not going to make it through the area, but take a look at this. Notice how the rain mainly from Tampa to the south. If you live north of Tampa on Wednesday, you might have some slightly lower humidity. I'm not talking extremely fall-like, but at least a little drier. And then those rain chances will gradually go back up into the weekend. So if you're already thinking about late week into the weekend, if you have events coming up this weekend, you definitely don't need to cancel those plans, but do keep in mind that rain chances will again increase going into the weekend. Let's talk about that cold front really quick, because if you have any friends or family up in the southeast, we're talking Georgia, the Carolinas, up into the Midwest, they are going to have a full-blown taste of fall with morning lows in the 50s. For us, though, as I mentioned, north of Tampa, maybe some slightly drier air, but we're still looking at
commute.
Yeah, you know, I think everyone is ready to see the rain go. And good news is this cold front to our north will bring us some drier days ahead, but we do have another wet day today. That's the reason for that weather impact alert day. Right now, showers moving onshore. It looks like over in Citrus and Hernando County, also over in Pinellas County, just some light rain, but a heavy downpour you can see moving right over Pine Island and Highway 19 in Hernando County. So take your time this morning. Not seeing quite as much activity offshore, but we are expecting more showers to continue to grow in coverage, making our way closer to the 7-8 o'clock hour. Temperature wise, quite warm out there. 78 in Safety Harbor, 79 in Tampa, 77 in Temple Terrace, 76 in Land Pondo Lakes, and 78 if you're waking up with us in Trinity this morning, 74 in Winter Haven and in Sebring. Taking you through your day today. By 9 o'clock, we're looking at a 40 to 50% coverage of showers and storms, and we'll hold on to scattered showers through about 11 before we dry out through your evening or your afternoon and evening commute.
Drier than we've seen.
Oh man, finally I can give the people some good news. I feel like I started on Friday, my first day here with all of you at home, and it's just been bad news ever since. But now we have this stalled front right over the I-4 corridor, clear skies along the Nature Coast and areas north of Tampa, but you could see still cloudy down in Manatee and Sarasota County. A few storms offshore. Those should stay offshore for the morning. Temperature-wise, across the Bay Area, we're still warm in the upper 70s, 78 in Tampa, 78 in West Chase. But look at Trinity, Port Richey in the low 70s this morning. Even better, Homosassa, you're in the upper 60s right now. Nice and comfy compared to where we have been last couple of days. Now, the dew points, that's the big kicker, right? This measures the amount of moisture in the air, so that humidity factor still in the mid 70s across the Bay Area, but we are starting to see some of those dew points drop into the upper 60s and near 70 north of Tampa. And I do expect the humidity to gradually drop through the day. That will give us more sunshine for your Wednesday, and we'll stay mostly dry, mid 80s by 11, and we'll head near 90 this afternoon with maybe just an isolated storm, mainly focused along and south of that I-4 corridor. How long will we stay dry? Unfortunately, this is a pause, as Caitlin mentioned. More details on when rain chances will increase in just a few minutes.
Plans in place, plan accordingly.
Yeah, absolutely. Sunday, you want to make indoor plans. That's our weather impact alert day. We are expecting on and off rain and storms, some heavy downpours, starting potentially as early as late morning, continuing into the evening. So yes, we are already watching that weekend very carefully for you. It is upon us. Only have to get through tomorrow before that long holiday weekend. Getting you out the door though this morning, temperatures are pretty warm across the Bay Area. We're closer to 80 degrees, 79 in Tampa, 80 in Port Manatee, 75 in Clearwater, 72 in Homosassa, 73 in Bartow. Dew points, that measures the amount of moisture in the air. So this represents your humidity, mid 70s across the Bay Area. Still a few low 70s out there, which is still muggy. So we are seeing that humidity start to climb. I do expect those numbers to rise through the day today. If you're starting to think about, okay, how am I going to plan my day? When can I take the dog for a walk? Plenty of opportunity throughout the day today. Dry for the morning. That midday walk will look at maybe an isolated storm along the 75 corridor, and that evening stroll will increase that rain chance to about 30%. So just a few isolated storms through the day today. But look at most of the lower 48 from the, Texas all the way to the East Coast. Going into the beginning of September, we're looking at below average temperatures. A handful of cold fronts going to move in. Us here along the Gulf Coast and through most of Florida, yeah, we're still looking at slightly above average temperatures. Those cold fronts never really make it all the way through. They just pause over us and bring us all that rain. One of those cold fronts going to stall over us and bring us that weather impact alert day for Sunday for rain and storms. So you will need the 10 Tampa Bay app. That will give you all the information to stay connected on the weather, and you will want the rain gear, and you'll want to start making some indoor plans for Sunday. Here's a look at your current temperatures to get your Thursday started. We still have a couple of days before the weekend. 75 in Wesley Chapel, 79 in Tampa, 76 in Lakewood Ranch, 74 in Newport Richey, in the low 70s up along the Nature Coast. Don't think you're going to drop into the upper 60s this morning. We were talking about the beach. A really good day to get out and enjoy that. If you want to catch the sunrise, you have a little less than an hour at 7:07, 84 at 10 o'clock, and then through the afternoon, just a few isolated thunderstorms possible. They'll develop first along the coast and then start to push east through the afternoon. If you want to get out on the water, not just sit along the coast, your marine forecast looking good. The bay nice and smooth, seas at about a foot. I'm sure once the sun rises and we start to look at our cameras across the area, that water going to be like glass yet again. So a good day whether you want to go to the beach or you want to get out on the water. Rain timing again along the coast and up to the 75 corridor, mainly between noon and 3, and then from 75 off to the east, 3 to 8 o'clock is when to expect just isolated storms. That's good news for any of you USF fans or USF alumni wanting to go to that game tonight. Looks mostly dry for that. Going into your Friday, dry for the first half of the day. It does look like most of the storm activity, although very isolated, does set up east of I-75. So we're mainly looking at Polk County over into Hardy County, Highlands County tomorrow, but along the coast looks mostly dry. Saturday around noon, we'll start to watch the Nature Coast for maybe a few storms to develop. But again, it does look like most of the rain will be east of I-75. So more inland storms for Saturday. Good news that Saturday's trending drier, because Sunday rain and storms do look more likely. A front will be parked right over the area. Monday for Labor Day still up in the air. If that front goes south, we trend drier. If that front stays stalled, that's going to to give us a wetter day. So we'll hold on to a 50% chance for showers and storms right now, and we'll fine tune that over the next couple of days. Forecast rainfall, you can see maybe a trace, not even a half an inch of rain along the coast. Most of that rain staying along and east of that I-75 corridor. But then as that front gets closer, more widespread rain. We're looking at about 1 inch to 1.5 inches along the coast. Inland communities, we're looking at about 1 inch to maybe 2 inches of rain. As we've kind of gone day by day here, Labor Day weekend as a whole has started to trend drier. It's just Sunday. That's going to be our problem day, hence our weather impact alert day. Time frame between about 11 and 6. That's the best time for those rains and storms and downpours. So you will want the umbrella if you're headed out and about on Sunday at all. The 10 Tampa Bay Plus app, a great way to stay updated on that forecast, and really you're just going to want to make indoor plans. Here at home, we're mostly dry. It looks like a stray shower just offshore there over near Hernando County. Otherwise, a really nice start to your Friday. Look outside over the next 2 days. This really is going to dissipate and continue to stay out in the open Atlantic. Not going to impact us here at home, but of course we will continue to watch the tropics very carefully for you as we head through the rest of the season. Let's talk about what's upcoming in the near future. We have a cold front that's going to move over the area, and that's going to bring us a weather impact alert day for widespread storms on Sunday. Here's that front right now to our north, draped across the southeast, bringing very heavy rain and a flood threat to parts of Louisiana and Mississippi. So if you are traveling off to the north today, you'll want to check your flights. Just be mindful of that. That is really the only issue across the lower 48. Overall, the weather is fairly quiet, especially up into the Midwest, the Northeast, and out west over towards the West Coast. Here at home, we are nice and dry to start your Friday. We've made it to the end of the work week, and arguably Friday's ahead of a 3-day weekend, or even better, right? 75 in Newport Richey, 79 in Tampa, 80 in Port Manatee, 73 in Bartow, 74 in Sebring, and 71 in Brooksville. Brooksville, you might drop into the upper 60s this morning. Temperatures through the day today warming back into the low 90s, upper 80s in spots along the coast, but naturally with that humidity returning, it'll start to feel closer to 100 by noon. And I think today, throughout most of your afternoon into the early evening, it'll feel anywhere between 98 to about 102, 103 degrees. Mostly dry today. That wind will start to shift west through the afternoon. That'll allow for a few isolated storms, mainly from Tampa off to the east, but definitely not anything that we haven't dealt with before. So for your afternoon and evening commute, an isolated storm with some heavy rain will be possible. And then as we go into the weekend, Saturday trending drier than Sunday. Let's talk about your marine forecast really quick. If you want to get out on the water, light chop on the bay, seas at about a foot. So great day to be out on the water if that's what you want to do today. And of course, if you have any beach plans this afternoon, that looks good too. Expected rain going into the weekend, 30% chance Saturday, Sunday, that weather impact alert. And look at Monday, 40% chance for rain. So that rain chance continues to go down. It looks like that front might make it through. Starting you tomorrow morning, a few showers and storms possible along the nature coast, but look at the afternoon hours. Along most of the coast, if you do have any beach or barbecue plans, we look good to go. A few isolated storms, mainly inland, for the afternoon and evening. And then Sunday, our weather impact alert day, as early as 11 o'clock, I do think storms could move on shore. The afternoon does look the wettest. Not a complete washout, but scattered storms do look likely. Heavy rain, some gusty wind, frequent lightning possible in any storms that do develop on Sunday. Your Labor Day forecast, highs in the 80s.